Cindy Williams did not tell fans her terminal condition. Shows were canceled without notice. She was undiscovered for 5 days following her death. Now, her sister has revealed horrifying revelations about those last months. She reveals what transpired behind closed doors. The truth regarding Cindy's medical care will shock you. Hollywood sensed trouble, but no one anticipated its severity. Details will destroy your heart. Cindy Williams was born in Van Nuys, Los Angeles, on August 22, 1947. Her mother, Francesca, worked long shifts as a server, while her father, the Akard Bill Williams, worked in an electronics company. Always, money was tight. Cindy's childhood was hard and moving. The family moved to Dallas when she was 1. They returned to LA at 10. She was adaptive since these adjustments forced her to start over. She learned how to connect with people quickly, which helped her in show business. Not an only child. She loved her younger sister Carol Ann and her half-brother Jim from her mother's first marriage. Some called their living conditions poor. Cindy wore hand-me-downs and learned early to make do. Her brown hair, blue eyes, and sense of humor helped her cope with her father's drinking. He was unpredictable, but his Jackie Gleason and Milton Berle imitation made her chuckle. She remembered those times. Comedy felt safe. Church was her refuge. She felt safe from home commotion during Sunday school. She performed in small plays there and hoped Debbie Reynolds would find her. Cindy subsequently stated performance made her feel powerful, even while home life made her feel small. She performed in school plays and impressed teachers with her timing and mannerisms. She graduated from Birmingham High School in 1965 with Sally Field. Cindy was no longer dreaming, but preparing. She studied theater at LA City College after high school. It wasn't fancy. She survived by waitressing late shifts and auditioned during the day. She recorded 157 failed auditions in a notepad and slept 4 to 5 hours before booking her first national commercial. Her breakthrough took time. She paid $175 a month for a tiny Hollywood flat, occasionally down to $20 for years, but she persisted. By 1969, things changed. She was noticed in Foster Grant eyewear ads. More commercials, TWA Airlines, and others compensated for her TV appearances. She played small roles in Room 222 and Love American Style. They were never leaders. She was usually the girlfriend or neighbor. Still, every role was a step forward. She never forgot the moment. The 1970 variety show The Funny Side required her to dance alongside Gene Kelly. She stepped on his foot mid-spin, nervous. He finished the number professionally, hiding it. When they performed again years later, she trod on his foot again. He grinned and replied, "Kid, something's never changed." That untidy, honest, clumsy charm became her mark. She joined the Actors Studio West in 1971. Though it was a great honor, her schedule prevented her from attending consistently. She began to attract major stars about this period. George Cukor cast her in Travels with My Aunt in 1972 after seeing her in a tiny play. She suddenly appeared with Maggie Smith and learning from a Katharine Hepburn-era mentor. She finally broke through in 1973 when George Lucas's low-budget film about 1960s teens, American Graffiti, cast her as Laurie Henderson. The $777,000 film was not expected to be a classic. Williams wasn't just acting as Ron Howard's girlfriend. Later, she confessed she left her actual heartbreak. "My partner left me for someone else and told me to see others." Pain gave her character emotion, and it showed. One of the film's most emotional scenes was the dancing scene with Howard, where they grin for the crowd while arguing under their breath that smoking goes in your eyes. Lucas altered parts of the screenplay to deepen her. Williams was more experienced than most of her co-stars. The famous George Cukor directed her in Travels with My Aunt a year earlier. But American Graffiti differed. It garnered her a 1975 BAFTA nomination for Best Supporting Actress, a remarkable early career distinction. She lost. It went to Ingrid Bergman, but being nominated with a legend meant everything. Williams worked hard to get there. She rose from waitressing to career-launching film star. Future stars: Ron Howard, Harrison Ford, Richard Dreyfuss. The casting was chaotic. Over 100 unknown performers, including a teenage Mark Hamill, auditioned. Producer Fred Roos, who worked on The Godfather, trusted in her. That faith paid off. Her friendship with the American Graffiti cast extended beyond the film. Her innate affinity with Ron Howard led to an unexpected result. Howard was Richie Cunningham on Happy Days in 1975. He secured her a guest position, which revolutionized her life. Chemistry with Penny Marshall lighted up the screen. After seeing it, Gary Marshall started Laverne and Shirley. It was America's top show, yet Penny and Cindy were friends. They'd met years earlier on another set and were close friends. American Graffiti introduced her to Harrison Ford, a carpenter at the time. He played cool, rebellious Bob Falfa because Fred Roos convinced him. Their paths crossed again in Coppola's next big film. After seeing Williams in American Graffiti, Francis Ford Coppola cast her in The Conversation in 1974. During this time, he created the Godfather series. She appeared in The Conversation with Gene Hackman, John Cazale, Terry Garr, and a young Harrison Ford. Robert Duvall appeared uncredited. The Cannes Picture Festival's top prize went to this paranoia and surveillance picture. Though it cost $1.6 million, the picture earned $4.8 million and 3 Oscar nominations, including Best Picture. Williams later contrasted Lucas with Coppola. Lucas was brief, often exclaiming "wonderful" after a take. However, Coppola was energetic, applauding and soliciting his actors' feedback. She was changed by both directors, yet something weird happened. Her career stalled after 3 critically lauded films: Travels with My Aunt, American Graffiti, and The Conversation. It was illogical. She was too famous to waitress, but she wasn't getting huge film jobs either. She wrote with Penny Marshall to kill time. Zoetrope Productions, owned by Francis Ford Coppola, employed them as one of a few $30-a-week female writers. It was unimportant at the time. Both women were aiming to succeed in Hollywood, but something significant occurred. While writing, they formed a deep creative bond. They learned to exchange ideas, punch jokes, and develop the chemistry that would characterize their careers without realizing it. Later in 1975, everything changed. Just one call. Gary Marshall, Penny's brother and Happy Days creator, called unexpectedly while they were writing a script. He requested a week off to play 2 females on a double date with Fonzie and Richie. Williams recalls giggling at Gary's description of the characters as fleet dating gals. She joked, "Bookers, this will be fun." They were unimpressed. 1 episode, a quick payout, and a ridiculous character. So they said yes. On November 11, 1975, they entered Paramount Studios without knowing they would influence TV history. The 2 Milwaukee girls from the January 27, 1976 program rapidly won over viewers. Williams played charming Shirley. Marshall played difficult Laverne. After a breakup, Richie approaches Fonzie for aid, and Fonzie calls Laverne and Shirley for a double date. Just a simple setup. Fans couldn't get enough. A minor gag becomes a breakthrough. Penny later revealed they were meant to be the gals who put out, but ABC spotted the potential and swiftly cleaned up that version. They had amazing chemistry behind the scenes. Everyone noticed. Crew, live audience, producers, nobody could ignore it. In one hilarious blooper, Tom Bosley, who played Mr. Cunningham, is seen behind a door waiting for his cue through the window. But Richie and Fonzie were no longer the focus. It changed. These two women stole the show. They received another contact from Gary Marshall's office 2 weeks later. The episode was seen by ABC executives. More guests weren't wanted the whole show. Cindy and Penny didn't understand spin-offs. Asking was required. All they knew was something enormous was happening. Their relationship went beyond performing. Williams described it as telepathy. They didn't require much practice. They knew just what the other would do. Williams diligently studied her scripts till the last minute. Marshall was opposite. Her performance was flawless despite not reading the script. She could have a cigarette, laugh, and be ready. It somehow worked. Their contrasts strengthened their relationship. She was cast in the next big film due of her chemistry with Perry Marshall. Laverne and Shirley premiered January 27, 1976. Within months, it erupted. In the fall, it accomplished the impossible. It rated higher than Happy Days. Over 60 million people watched it weekly at its height. American graffiti artist Cindy became famous. Her visage was in magazines, lunchboxes, and every living room. The Schlemiel, Schlemazel, Hasenpfeffer incorporated chant became a playground staple in America. In 1979, she made $30,000 per episode. Actresses made a lot of money then. She created Shirley Feeney, not just played her. Cindy nervously laughed at Shirley. She practiced it for weeks before filming the first episode. She contemplated Shirley. The character kept personal notebooks. Cindy suggested Shirley wear prim sweaters and use cuddly creatures like Boo Boo Kitty. That contrast with Laverne's tomboy style made the show pop. In 1979, women requested the Shirley haircut at salons. Cindy received around 1,500 fan mails weekly. Not everyone liked Shirley. They sensed her. Hidden beneath the charming smile and kind voice was a tough person. Cindy did most of her tricks. The physical comedy was real. One 1978 episode required 37 takes of bottle wrestling on a conveyor belt. Despite 3 bruised ribs, she continued. Without roller skating skills, she did splits on camera for 1977 roller skating scenes. She endured frostbite filming skiing scenes for hours in the cold. She trained with vaudeville performers before the show. Over 50 hours, she and Penny Marshall practiced a 3-minute routine. She was known as the female Buster Keaton for her daring antics. In January 1978, her work gained prominence. Cindy was Golden Globe nominated for Best Comedy Actress. She faced Carol Burnett and Jean Stapleton luminaries. Though she lost, it altered everything. Industry insiders now recognized her as more than half a duet. Big deals, money, prominent roles, and creative control came from studios. She declined them all. She supported Laverne and Shirley. Her commitment yielded new rewards. Her contract allowed her greater power than most actors at the time. However, things fell apart. The show moved from Milwaukee to California in 1980. Brewery employment disappeared. Magic was too. According to her lawsuit, Gary Marshall sought to force her out due to her pregnancy. She said the studio offered her accommodations. They promised to include it into the story, let her work securely until October, and pay her $75,000 every episode plus $37,500 per rerun. They retreated. Cindy felt duped. She had to choose between her kid and her career after the transaction fell through. She sued Paramount for $20 million in August 1982, half in general damages and half in punishment. Her spouse helped her, but he produced set tension. Hudson made Penny Marshall's life worse, she later said. The situation escalated quickly. Only 2 season 8 episodes featured Cindy. Then Shirley vanished. No goodbye, no goodbye. She left a note indicating she moved with her husband. It stunned viewers. Even though Laverne was the only character, the sitcom remained its name. Fans wondered where Cindy was, and Penny Marshall had to respond. She termed everything a drag. Cindy left one of TV's top shows at great expense. She left a $1.65 million deal without reruns that year. The lawsuit was discreetly settled, but the harm was done. Suddenly, her Hollywood future was uncertain. Rumors spread. She was accused of making unreasonable demands. Cindy kept quiet, focusing on her new motherhood. Others blamed a rivalry with Penny. Cindy Williams and Bill Hudson's May 1, 1982 wedding was more than a wedding. A dirty, emotional roller coaster began. Cindy joined a complex family after Bill divorced Goldie Hawn. She became stepmother to Oliver 6 and Kate Hudson 3 overnight. Both kids would become Hollywood stars, but the family was far from perfect. Deep tensions. Bill's relationship with Oliver and Kate was not good from the start and only got worse. Oliver's Father's Day statement criticizing his father sparked a widespread outcry in 2015. Bill replied, blaming Goldie for turning the kids against him. Goldie's longtime companion, Kurt Russell, became Kate and Oliver's father figure more than Bill. It split families into two that barely spoke. In 2021, Kate said she wants to reconcile with her half-siblings because time is short. After Cindy died in January 2023, many hoped her death would end family silence. Cindy and Bill married 18 years, ending in 2000. Cindy made a life-changing choice before the divorce. She discovered she was pregnant with Emily in early 1982. Cindy was one of TV's top stars when Laverne and Shirley entered its 8th season. She imagined she could work while pregnant and hide behind furniture on set, like actresses. Producers insisted she film until her due date, which would be illegal today. Cindy declined. After reviewing the contract, she refused to sign. She left after 2 episodes of the new season. She was sidelined as Shirley Feeney and sued for $20 million, which was resolved secretly. Cindy faded after Emily was born later that year. Her departure changed her life and Hollywood's treatment of pregnant actresses. Years later, she noticed sets adding nurseries and on-site nannies. She didn't intend to pioneer, but she was. In 1986, Cindy had her second child, William Zachary Hudson, known as Zach, who joined his sister Emily and half-siblings Kate and Oliver in a huge and complicated family. Cindy chose clearly. Celebrity would not influence her children. She raised them quietly, away from cameras. Zachary remained private.